Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. It's truly an honor to speak with you, really.
Oh, cool. Thanks. No problem. Hope you don't mind. I'm chewing a little bit and getting a late lunch.
Oh, no worries. Anytime you can squeeze us in, I'm definitely very appreciative of. So let me start by congratulating you on the new Bellator contract and the scheduled fight with Paul Daley. Congratulations. It's wonderful news.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm excited about it, and yeah, it feels good to be kind of promoted again and being talked about. I feel like I've been a ghost for the last several years.
Yeah, it's good to have you back, and it's good to have you facing the kind of competition that you're going to find in Bellator.
Exactly.
Now, Daly is 3-2 over the last 2 years, losing only to Douglas Lima and Rory MacDonald, the two most recent Bellator fighters to wear the welterweight crown. So I can see the narrative that they're trying to create. Daly being the amuse-bouche of sorts, laying the track work for your route to the title shot. What do you think of Daly as a fighter?
He's very dangerous, very explosive, tough fighter. He's a fighter's fighter. He comes to win. I respect that, and I just think I have him outclassed in a lot of areas.
Right
So
on.
it's a good matchup for me. But it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. He's the kind of guy. He's the kind of guy I need to bring the best out of me.
Much like Foster.
Yes, somebody who's coming to win. There's a lot of guys people don't understand. They fight not to be finished, just to say, oh well, I didn't get finished. But that's not the kind of fight that's gonna make me shine. The guys who are coming to knock my block off, the guys who are coming to submit me, those are the guys that make me rise to the occasion.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, I honestly assumed that the fight to make would have been champion versus champion, you versus Rory, but maybe Douglas Lima would have been a good choice as well. Now, aside from Paul, were there any other fighters they offered as your first Bellator fight?
No, I kind of wanted a 3-round fight first.
Gotcha.
Because I haven't fought since June,
Right.
and I didn't want to get thrown into a 5-round fight right away against Rory, and then if I drop that, then it's going to be a long road to get back there,
Absolutely.
So I wanted something to work my way up to a title shot, make sure I earn it, make sure some people see me and know that I'm with Bellator and I'm still championship caliber and level. A lot of people write me off because I'm a little bit ancient. And I think it's a good matchup. There's a lot of other guys that would have been good first round fights, but I think this is just a perfect situation. He was asking for names. He wanted to fight bigger guys instead of lesser known or no named guys. So we're both getting the fight we want.
Right on. So it sounds like you have heard about the contentious relationship Daly has had with Bellator at the moment. Now, some were positing that management is punishing Daly for his behavior. And when presented with that idea, here's what Daly had to say about it. I'm sure you've read it before, but here's what he said. He said, if they gave me the Fitch fight as a punishment, they make a big mistake. I'm telling you now, I will KO Fitch within 2 rounds. He's not the Fitch of old. He is old, and he's no Rory MacDonald. Would you care to respond?
Oh, that's great. I love it. I'm not the Fitch of old. I'm improved. I'm aging like a fine wine. I've said it before. Mean doesn't age.
Ah,
And I'm just meaner than most guys.
I dig it.
As far as the punishment, I mean, whatever. Fighters are there to fight. You're not going to punish a fighter by giving him a tough fight. That's what we're here for. That's what we thrive on.
I dig it.
I'm sure he thrives on the challenges too. Like we get bored of fights that aren't challenging. If it's not a big name, if it's not in front of the lights, not in front of a lot of people, it's hard to train. It's hard to get up for that fight. You want something that resonates, and a big name is what resonates, and we're getting that.
Right. Now, with a win over Daly, clearly your next step will be to call out Rory. Is that something you've thought about doing in the cage or not?
It depends. I'm perfectly okay with I'm gonna take it one fight at a time. I want to see how this fight goes. I'm okay with fighting this time, fighting again this summer, and then fighting Rory around New Year's.
Okay.
That would be fine. But if, I just come out there and I feel great, I look great, the sooner I get foul shot, the better maybe. I don't know. I'm just going to take it one fight at a time. We'll see how it goes.
I dig it. So when did training camp start for you for this fight? And how's it been going?
I started picking things up last week a little bit. I've started 2 days a little bit this week. I know how to fight. I know how to. I don't need to hard spar every single day like a lot of these young guys are trying to do.
Right.
Part of hard sparring is to develop grit, and I'm the grittiest mother grabber out there. So I don't need any more grit.
Yeah, a lot of fighters are coming around to that sort of understanding in their training. Robbie Lawler being probably the most vocal or the one to talk about it a lot.
I mean, when you're younger, you do need it a little bit because you gotta go through the fire to kind of be immune to the heat. So we don't really have a developed amateur system in the U.S. So there's no fire to get people prepped to go professional. Amateur wrestling, amateur Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, amateur Muay Thai kickboxing doesn't really put you through the fire the way that amateur MMA should, and we don't really have a national across the board system like USA Boxing or USA Wrestling. Or one of the reasons I think the Russians are doing so well in the sport right now is because they have a combat sambo, and that's a very, very well developed amateur MMA system. It's pretty much MMA in an open wrestling mat area with shin pads, a gi top, and headgear, and oversized, and the gloves are probably like 9 ounces or something. So it's easy transition for them. They can kind of get that experience at a younger age and for longer. And it's a uniform system, across the entire country. So, I think they have a definite advantage in that.
Right on. Now, what is it like training at AKA, arguably in the top 3 camps in the world? Do you get to train with the likes of DC or Khabib or Kane, or is everyone sort of on their own schedules?
No, yeah, I get to train with those guys. I've been giving rounds to Khabib on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Because most guys can't deal with his top pressure.
No.
They just can't. So he needs me to kind of push him on that game. He needs somebody who can be underneath him and make him work. I'm doing a little bit better. His weight's coming down, so I'm having an easier time. Not easier time, but it's getting better than it was 2-3 weeks ago.
Right on.
Because instead of only having 5 pounds on him, I've got like 10 now. Just 10 or 13, 14 something. So, a little extra weight advantage is helping. And I'm getting a little better shape, but he's such a monster on top. I said in an interview earlier, I don't know what it was, but I think Khabib could beat GSP in GSP's prime.
I mean, it's hard not to agree with you there. His wrestling seems like it germinated at a very, very young age, and it's been growing very, very strong roots and trunks since then.
I mean, and his just control, his wrestling, but he's got an incredible chin, and he hits hard. He's not powder puff. He hits hard, and his stand-up's good. He's gonna make you respect his power as he works his way into the clinch or the takedown. And if he gets you tired, then he's going to hurt you on the feet. So, man, he's a heck of a guy to deal with.
Right. Now, your grappling prowess obviously is legendary as well. And speaking to that, congrats on the submission win in the Foster fight. I mean, I can't remember the last time we saw you dance in celebration. What did that feel like?
Well, it was great, man. I just I feel like I had a big turnaround. Just not sports wise, but in life, I kind of got my crap together a little bit. I was kind of in a kind of a depressed state the last few years, especially when I was in Las Vegas. yeah, I think I made a big turn. I turned a big corner in my life, and it culminated in me performing the way I did, even under crazy circumstances. Because that fight was, we started like 2 hours early. It was raining. It was outdoors. It was super humid. The canvas was the absolute wrong type of canvas to have. It was
slipping and sliding,
falling down all over the place.
Oh man!
And it was just, everything was set up to be a disaster. And I just kept calm, and I even gave a pep talk to everybody in my locker room. We're all professionals. Let's go, because they're like, we got to the locker room. We just got there. Like, all right, first fight's in 15 minutes. guys hadn't even put their cups on yet, and they're trying to hurry up and wrap hands because we're going live in 15 minutes.
Holy cow!
And Ray Sefo had to stall him and get us an extra 10 minutes to get those guys at the beginning, those undercard guys ready. So guys were kind of freaking out, and I just said, you know what? Just, hey, we're professionals, guys. You know how to fight. We can do this. We're all right. Just be calm. Get yourself wrapped. It's already warm, so you're not going to be cold going out there. And it turned out to be a great show, great night of fights. Even the crowd was a little bit hostile because they were there to watch racing. They were in to watch racing. They'd been there all day drinking, and then the race got canceled.
Oh Jesus!
So you had a surly group of people watching the fights, and crazy circumstances with the guys being forced out there ahead of time, not really warmed up or prepared, and everybody came out and put on a great show, and it was a great night.
Right on. Now I was
reasons to dance.
Right on. I was lucky enough to be cage side shooting photos for 2 of your fights in World Series of Fighting against Yushin Okami, and then again against Jake Shields. Now your fight with Shields was just amazing. What a war and what a display of high level grappling. It must have felt great to get to beat a guy who got one on you in a grappling match by out grappling him.
Well, we're actually 1-1 in grappling.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I have if you go to my YouTube page, official Jon Fitch, I have a playlist of grappling competitions.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a tournament, the painting tournament, in 2004, and I did the pro tournament and the pro open weight. And I had 3 matches, and then Jake was my second match, and I beat him on points. And then I went against Gilbert Melendez in the final, and I armbarred Gilbert.
Oh wow!
And people haven't seen that. Go watch that. It's fun to watch the throwback from back in the day.
Wow, I'll definitely have to check that out.
He did get the submission win on me, so it's nice to get the fight win over him.
Right. Now, a while back, you went to Thailand to train in Muay Thai. Do you go back often?
Not as much as I'd like to. I've been back once. Mike Swick has a gym out there, AKA Thailand. And
right.
He's in Phuket. And I'd like to go back out again as soon as I can. It's just a nice place. And Mike's set up just an outstanding gym. What he's done over there is amazing. I'm really jealous. I'm pretty jelly on his style there, because that's something I would have loved to do. And I love Thailand. It's really fun. People over there are amazing. And it's just tough people, and they're super super nice, super kind people. If people have a chance to ever go out there, definitely do it.
Right on. A lot of fighters these days are approaching disciplines outside of fighting to complement their fight training, like gymnastics or enlisting movement coaches. Have you added anything new to your training, any new disciplines or new training techniques that you're using specific to this camp or to Paul Daley?
No, I've just refined the stuff I've been doing over the years and put my focus on different things.
Gotcha.
I think it's good that a lot of people are doing other stuff outside of just MMA training. But at the same time, you don't want to waste your energy and your time doing stuff that's not really going to push you forward as a fighter.
Right.
I think there's a lot of movement and strength training that can be done specifically that is fight specific, and I think it's important to remember and be fight specific. You know, a lot of these trainers and strength coaches have never fought or never trained in MMA before, and some of them don't really know what's necessary and what you need in a fight camp to be strong and be prepared for that 3 or 25 minutes of fighting.
Right.
A lot of them are coming from basketball or football or other types of training, CrossFit type training stuff. And it's just a little bit different, I think, and you have to be careful that you're not training to be great at CrossFit. You know, you want to make sure you're doing things that are focused on making you a better fighter.
That's a great point. I mean, instead of amassing a buttload of tools, you should sharpen the ones that you know you like using.
Exactly.
Right. Now,
the ones that you know that are going to benefit your technique. You know, if you can do things you're doing things specifically to make you more explosive, more balanced. You're doing things specifically for joint strength. I think that's great. Any of the kind of the bustle, the body weight movements, I think are great. You know, and just make sure you try to implement and mimic MMA type movements.
Right on. In just bringing up sort of something I read about a while back in 2015, somebody wrote that you were the first fighter to get paid completely in Bitcoin. Now, in recent months, the rest of the country and the rest of the world has started to take an immense interest in Bitcoin, with prices reaching unprecedented and perhaps unfathomable heights. What has this meant for you? Are you still involved with it?
I'm kicking myself for not putting more money in when it was $200.
Right.
But, you know, I think, I don't know if I was the first ever to be paid completely in it. I accepted sponsorships that paid me in Bitcoin or altcoins, different types of cryptocurrency.
Right.
And what I take pride in is I was probably one of the first people to push other people into buying the cryptocurrencies as an investment so that they could make money off of my fight. Because we kind of like crowdsourced. I had Nautilus Coin and then Hypercoin, and we crowdsourced people in the community to put up the money for the sponsorship. And then, you know, the night of the fight, the price surged. So a lot of people were able to sell and sell off and then make a profit.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
Any of my fans who were following along and took advice and were able to do that, or had an opportunity to make money off of my fight.
Wow, that's so interesting. The little avenues you can find to exploit existing, you know, money-making streams. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm talking with somebody now who's I can't go into too much detail, but we want to work on something that is, you know, MMA related, that will also have, you know, cryptocurrency involved.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, that sort of leads.
That's way down the road. So
Okay.
That's about as much as I can say about it.
Right. Well, I look forward.
I'm kind of excited about the project. I think it'll be cool.
Right on. Would you have a sort of time frame where you're looking to announce?
No. We're just starting. We're just at the very beginning.
Right on. Well, I hope when you are, you'll let us know so that we can write about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on. So let me end by asking if there are any new sponsors you're working with that you'd like to give a plug for, or any of your current sponsors that you'd like to thank.
Oh, well, no, I have, you know, Oak Grove Technologies has been my ride and die sponsor for a long time, and they're great. They've been helping out a long time. You know, if there's any ex-military people or military people who are looking to leave the military and they're looking for work or something, look up Oak Grove, reach out to them. They employ all kinds of veterans in all kinds of different ways.
Wow.
Check out my YouTube page, Official Jon Fitch. I do a daily shake break at 10 o'clock and answer a lot of questions. I'm trying to build that up, and then maybe sometime in the future turn that into a podcast. I have, you know, my Instagram, Fitch Smash. I have my Facebook fan page, Fitch Smash. And I also have a blog series I started a couple weeks ago on Medium, medium.com.
Huh.
You can go medium.com/@JonFitch. You should probably be able to find me. I have a blog series called Failing Upward or Death by Ego. And I'm going through, I have like 17, 18 years of journals. And I'm going through those journals, and I'm sharing the journals with people, and I'm writing, you know, reflections on those things.
Holy cow.
I'm kind of letting people peek in to see what got me here and what led to some of the crazy things, and you know, kind of the madness that goes into training the way we train. I want people to kind of see that, because the journal started off in college as a workout journal. So I spent the first spring and summer of before my junior year, writing in it, and I took a break. That was 2000, I think, and I took a break until 2003, and I started again when I was getting ready to move to California. So people will be able to kind of see what I was experiencing and writing down about my travels to California and going to AKA and what I was going through those fight camps and things like that.
Wow, that's incredible to get to peek into what you were thinking before and after some of these incredible fights. That's a fascinating prospect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and part of it, towards the end of the book, or end of my first book, because I have like 4 of them right now. I was like the whole tough experience. It was almost on the Ultimate Fighter experience.
Right.
It was interesting for me to read back, my thoughts as I was going through it and what I was writing down about that situation. I think people will find it very interesting. Some of it's really embarrassing because, it's personal, and some of it is me being butthurt about stupid things, and I look at it now and I'm shaking my head, but I felt like the best way to cover these things is just to let it all out and let people see, and give myself a chance to grow from that experience, and maybe other people can pick something out of that too.
Yeah, it's a fascinating thing, journaling. It keeps you honest, because a lot of times your mind will tend to...
Exactly. And I write about that in the thing. Journaling is one of the best ways to keep yourself accountable.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you got to write down what you did. You got to write down what you ate, or what you could just do a food journal if you're trying to lose weight or be healthy. You're trying to do a fitness journal. You can have different types of journals,
right.
And it keeps you honest. Because you can lie to other people and you can like push things off, but when you go to write in that book, it's staring you in the face.
Right.
Are you gonna lie into the book? Like, you're going to lie into that book, and every time you go back and read that book, you were lying when you wrote it in there.
Right.
So, like, you can't do it.
And I feel like when you go back and read some of those things, you're like, wait a second, I didn't feel about this situation the way I'd convinced myself in later years that I felt about that situation.
Exactly, yeah. One of the big reasons I was doing it, was because, like, fight camps, I could look back at a different fight camp and see how I felt and what I was going through. And then sometimes I was like, oh, man, like I was going through this exact same thing at around the same time of my last fight camp. Like, there's always a point in your fight camp where you kind of break down and your body is like feeling like, fuck this. And if you don't remember or you don't have it written down, if like you went through that the last time, like you can get really hard on yourself and spiral into a bad situation. So like you can reflect and look back and be like, oh, okay, well, this is normal. I just need to take a day off and rest, and then I can come back and then I'll be recharged. And I did that multiple times, looking back through my journals.
Yeah. Jon, thank you so much for a great conversation and for your time. I really do appreciate it. Look forward to seeing the article up tomorrow, and I look forward to speaking with you again, and good luck on your next fight. I can't wait to see it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Easy. Bye.
Bye-bye.